Before we start, I'd like to send my deepest condolences to those of you who lost your loved ones to the horrible C-19. And to those of you who selflessly volunteered to be at the front line, just so that people like me can have the privilege of sitting in this comfy room and breathing, I have nothing but genuine respect and admiration for you. I know I've said this many times, it feels like I'm just pandering, but in all seriousness, you guys are the real heroes. So over the years, I've made tons of miscellaneous videos. I remember starting this page back in 2015 to talk about the stuff that a lot of other people have already talked about since 2010, just in a different language and maybe a slightly different interpretation. Most of my videos are basically just me thinking out loud, so they're kind of inconsistent in terms of quality, and the topics are all over the place. Politics, psychology, English learning, my personal life experience. Then there were some embarrassing meme videos that I thought were funny at some point. I ain't no Gordon Ramsay, but I'm the best damn rice pantsy. A bitch like me came from Vietnam, see poor slot eyes gonna drop the panties. So if you want a piece of this, get in line, you piece of shit. They just keep coming back for more, you think just over businesses. But for almost 7 years, I've never actually opened up about one thing. Although it's basically the reason why this page was created in the first place, and that is my job. So today I've decided to get behind the VTLE character to let you know more about what is going on off the camera. I'm not sure if this is gonna be interesting, but hey, I know some of you guys can tell that sometimes I try so hard to make my contents interesting, they ended up feeling overly scripted. So back in August this year, I hosted a live podcast on my personal Facebook page, and I received this anonymous question asking me how I felt about not being as popular as other celebrity teachers, although, you know, I've been around for much longer. I think the person who asked probably meant well. They were nice and supportive. They were simply curious about why I never bring up my job and just seem to be posting whatever and whenever I feel like on social media. So I figure I might as well tell you the truth in case you haven't already known. Although it's my personal interest to create contents and entertain people, my real job, you know, the one that has sustained me up to this point, actually has more to do with education rather than entertainment. And so I refuse to engage in clout chasing or pushing my business to people's face, mostly because there's no actual necessity for me to do so. This is not at all to imply that I am morally superior to anyone who do, because it is not the matter of want, but the matter of need. If I really need to do something to continue to make a living, then it doesn't matter whether I want it or not, I will do it. It really is a blessing to make a living while being able to just fly under the radar. I feel extremely privileged to have the right to be apathetic towards whatever people are going crazy about, whatever is trendy on the news, whatever the cool kids are doing. I can just sit down and talk passionately about things that I am the only one who cares about. And that's privilege. I call it the privilege of not giving a shit. This year, I've achieved something that I could only dream of when I first started. I was able to get enough new customers without having to run any ads on this page. And the point is, none of this would have been possible without my wonderful students. I have these amazing students who not only put their trust in me, but are also extremely supportive of my business. I've had students who's like 4 out of 5 family members actually went to my class. It's such an indescribable honor. For as long as I've been a teacher, my main marketing strategy, you know, aside from being so damn handsome, is to simply give people a little bit more than I think they pay for. And to my very surprise, it worked. Most, if not all of my reputation as a teacher actually comes from word of mouth instead of internet fame. Unfortunately, this year I've had to do my classes online, which means I had to rework most of my lesson plans to adapt to the new format. I've always been a Neanderthal when it comes to technology, so I could never get behind the idea of how you can engage your students through a computer screen. But then after 2 courses teaching from a distance, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. It kept me employed throughout the pandemic, and most importantly, I could make my lessons more engaging by making it more demonstrative and diversify. Something that I think I wouldn't be able to do with just a blackboard and chalks and even a projector. Although, to be honest with you, it's kind of tough and intimidating to be an online teacher nowadays, especially with all the cancel culture going on. Even with the conventional way, I've never got it down to a science after all these years. And so I still felt nervous whenever I'm introduced to a new class with new people and everything. I can live with that. But to teach the people I've never met before in person and then have everything I do recorded, that is a different story. I have to speak nonstop and come up with new ways to engage the students while being extra careful about everything I say or teach. It's like teaching a normal class, except that the classroom walls are made out of glass and every bypassers is pointing a camera at you. But hey, confidence is the mastery of fear, not the absence of it. And if I had the choice, this is the kind of fear that I'd rather have. So for the time being, this is going to be the new norm. I hope you're okay with all the changes. Although nothing is actually set in stone, I could run my business exclusively online or have both online and offline classes for variety. And if one day I make a video saying, hey, you know what, I quit, you'll be damn sure that I'm already rich AF. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this rambling talk. If it came across as bragging or pretentious, then I'd like to apologize because that wasn't my intention. I may not be the richest or the most popular, but I'm lucky enough to be able to pay my bills and support my family, even indulge in my hobby a little bit while doing exactly the kind of job that I love doing. However, if you're feeling generous and want to buy me a cup of coffee, consider subscribing to my OnlyFans account, where I'll be posting some more adult-oriented contents and stuff that is more on the explicit side. All you need to do is to... just messing with you.